I guess you can say that this is the one film that kickstarted this channel because I did talk about this film in quite a lot of my videos back in 2015 to 2016 regarding the controversy surrounding the film and those entitled man babies or whatever the progressive journalists called the fans back then. Despite talking about the film quite a lot of times in this channel in the past, I've never actually seen it. You know what? Since I did a series where I recap films, I think it's about as good as time as any to talk about this controversial film. Welcome to appabendyt's Recap, taking a look at films in detail and figuring out its pros and controversies. Today's recap is going to be on Ghostbusters 2016, a film that most people loathe, especially the fans of the original. But before we get into the recap, I do want to say thank you so much for all of those who supported this channel by liking my videos, sharing them, subscribing, follow me on Twitter. Huge thanks to those who sponsored me on this channel by donating through Patreon, PayPal, and many other means. Links down below. And finally, huge thanks to my new sponsors JT Murdoch, Mina Mizora, Licknut, and Anon. You guys are fantastic. So why the hell would I want to recap this film? Well, there's a brand new Ghostbusters film coming out directed by the son of the original director, and people really got pissed on that one. The objective here is to see if the Ghostbusters 2016 film really deserve all the flack that it got. Now, I've seen the original 1984 Ghostbusters years ago, and I did rewatch it for this video. It was a pretty fun and entertaining film. Didn't have too much nostalgia on it, but it is entertaining and funny. And now we have Ghostbusters 2016. So after finally seeing the actual film, what are my thoughts on it? Well, let's check out the film, shall we? So the film starts off with a little bit of a haunted house museum tour. The tour guide gives a little bit of history on the house, which isn't really that important, but what is important is that while telling a really horrific story about some crazy murderous chick, a candle falls off. But it turns out that the candle is all just a trick to scare the guests, which doesn't seem to be that scared at all if you ask me, so good work on that. Oh, what's this near the candle? It's a machinery designed to increase the levels of paranormal activity surrounding the area. Oh no! Anyway, the guy explained to the guests that there's this door that should never be opened because it contains spirits of the crazy girl who kills people or something. I don't know. But just as the tour finished, the door's handle suddenly turns around and squeaks, revealing... well, it doesn't really reveal anything yet, but jump scare! Oh, I know you guys like dumb audio jump scares, do you? Just as the guy tries to leave the house, he got thrown around by the ghost, and then he did what he told everyone to not do, which is to not enter the door. Biggest regret of his life. And this is where the title screen and the theme song comes in. I find it interesting that they also gender swapped the first victim from the original Ghostbusters. The next scene shows one of the main characters, Erin, played by Kristen Wiig, who is a professor at Columbia University, doing a lecture to a bunch of oh, it turns out that she was just rehearsing the entire thing. Oh, how silly and quirky you are, film. Now, Erin is basically a significantly less sarcastic and miserable version of Venkman from the original Ghostbusters. While she is a lot less asshole compared to Venkman, she still retains a lot of Venkman's general debauchery. We'll get into that in a bit. As she is finished rehearsing her lecture, she takes a little bit of break by... see, told you, general debauchery. You know what? I'll play a drinking game with you guys. Drink every single time the film makes jokes related to ass, farts, or poops. There's plenty of them here, and trust me, you won't like it. Anyway, as she does her Twitch stream rehearsals, she got visited by some guy who read her book. The book is revealed to be about the ghosts from our past, both literally and figuratively. She denied writing the book multiple times, and she also revealed that she burned both copies of the book. But that appears to not be the case.
It's on Amazon, both hard copy and ebook.
What?
It's on books on tape too, only I know how to read.
I apologize to all the Audible users for this. Erin looks back to Amazon to find out that her book was indeed being sold to the public. Okay, this film is from 2016. How come people still use Windows 8?
Oh, hi. Oh, Dr. Fillmore.
Oh, well, that explains it. Hey, Boomer, it's called the minimize button. If you can't do that, just press Alt-Tab or Windows D. If you got a bunch of embarrassing stuff that you don't want people to see, just press Windows D and you're good to go. You'll be free from any embarrassing stuff. Aw, looky here. Who's the good girl? Who's the good girl? Anyway, Erin goes out to find the second author of the book, Abby, who is her friend, and she is working in another science institution. Erin goes into her lab to find a bunch of paranormal science tools and... Okay, film. If you ask me, I'd rather watch Deadpool than this. The hell you're doing here, Dopinder? Don't include people that reminds me of a better film to watch, okay? So Abby and Aaron reunite, and Aaron politely asks Abby to remove the book from Amazon because if anyone Googles Aaron's name, they're gonna find out about that book, and therefore her scientific credits will be discarded.
That book was our baby, and you abandoned that baby before it even learned to fly.
Okay, well, books can't fly, and neither can babies, so.
You don't know. I'll tell you what, if I had a human baby...
A new rule for the drinking game. Take 2 shots every single time characters drag out a joke. Aaron says to Abby that there's no experimental backing for the book, but despite her attempts at convincing her, she wouldn't listen. And this is where we meet Kate McKinnon's character Holtzman. I gotta be honest, she's definitely one of the more entertaining parts of the film. She's basically Egon, except if Egon is a hell of a lot more like a mad scientist, a childlike mad scientist, which can be annoying, but she does have a lot of energy to her. And Melissa McCarthy's character Abby is basically Ray, except slightly more confident, but otherwise she's pretty much Ray. Abby reveals that they got detections of ghosts through her device, and well, this happened. Take a shot.
It's a cool joke. It was funny. It's disgusting.
Is it more or less disgusting if I tell you it came from the front?
Of all the jokes that you can stretch, you stretch the fart one. Take 3 shots.
Okay, you know what? I thought we could have an adult conversation, but apparently we can't.
Wow. That sums up the internet discussion about this film. Erin explains that the reason why she come towards Abby in the first place is because of the man who come to her about the ghost. She told Abby and Holtzman about the man that she met earlier. The two got excited about the prospect of seeing a ghost, and this happened. Another new rule for the drinking game, take a shot every single time the characters act like overgrown kids. That's a giant recurring problem that I have with this film.
Let's go!
I'm not going with you guys.
Oh no, are you kidding? You were never invited. I need you out of the lab so I can lock the door.
Huh. That's not a bad joke, film. Nice try. Erin agrees to the two that she will introduce them into the guy who reported to Erin about the ghost. The three meets up with the tour guide who seems to be just fine, and he's mostly fine, but the weirdest part here is that the person that Erin just met named Ed Mulgrave is actually dead for 15 years. Oh no, then who's the person? Oh no, who is this person wandering around?
But that's Ed's son, Ed Jr.
That was an extremely forced joke, film. The tour guide should have said something along the lines of, "Oh, you mean Ed Jr.," instead of spooking everybody out.
Garrett here saw it on Tuesday, and I believe it made him soil himself.
Jesus.
Wow, soiling. I'd put that at a T3.
T4 if it was poo. Unless you ate
Stop,
somewhere.
stop. We get it. Jeez, it's a freaking poop joke. Don't stretch it out. Take 3 shots. The group goes into the house. Holtzman pulls off her Sony camcorder to record the footage, and the peaky e-meter, I swear to God, it looks like a spinning vagina. The group investigates the area. Abby goes out to check on the locked door that is not supposed to open. Erin steps on the goo and the locked door is now unlocked. Erin accused Abby of pranking her, but Abby denies it. So who might have done it? Well, it wasn't those two, so it's definitely a ghost, right?
How can you be eating right now?
I am glad that this film bombed. The ghost appears upon the tree, and instead of doing anything horrific, she just spits slime at Erin. The ghost flies away, the three chase the ghost out of the building, and they react like kids in Christmas morning.
Ghosts are real! I believe in ghosts because I just saw one for real!
Okay, that was a pretty funny edit, I'll give you that, film. And of course, she's straight up fired from the institution because she told everyone that she saw ghosts and it was real, and the video for doing so got uploaded to YouTube. But for real though, I do want to know how you can fake a flying ghost spitting slime at your face continuously. How can somebody not believe that? I mean, the ghost CGI looks fake as hell, but actually, you know what? That's a good enough reason to not believe it.
I got fired after years of hard work and ass kissing. God, I kiss so many different kinds of asses.
All right, everybody, keep your cool!
She dislocated her jaw and ecto-projected all over you.
Yeah, that stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack.
We're only 20 minutes in, guys. Don't worry, it gets worse.
Because it's not just us. We have over 100 comments already.
400 comments. That's hilarious. Woo-hoo.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Also, who the hell uses CRTs at an age where you can have Windows 8 in America?
Read that.
Ain't no bitches gonna hunt no ghosts.
Oh, no.
Nice dig there, film. I hope you are proud of that.
She can call the police. She can't call her friends. Who's she gonna call?
Wow, what an awfully convenient timing. Ha ha ha. Get it? The group requests more funding from the institution, but it was denied by, this guy.
Oh my gosh. I think it might be a ghost. Oh no, it's not. It's just a bird. Bye. There's the door.
Remember when I told you to take a shot every single time characters act like children? The group decides to steal the equipments of the institution. Yes, they steal these equipments, and the owner isn't too happy about it.
Hey! That worthless garbage belongs to this school!
Okay, who the hell dresses like this in a freaking school? He dressed like if there's a tropical beach on the other side of the building. And here's where we meet Leslie Jones's character Patty, who also meets up with the villain of the story. This weirdo. The weirdo goes into the train tracks to plant the paranormal enhancer thingy. Patty goes out to check on the weirdo, and that's where she encounters the ghost. As Patty struggles to run away from the ghost, the group is trying to find out the new base of operation, and it looks like they're about to get the iconic Ghostbusters HQ.
Oh, hi, look at the look at it. Stripper pole.
Take a shot. Turns out that the rent for the building is way too expensive for them to afford, so their base of operation is above a Chinese restaurant. The group tries to set up their new location. Holtzman is being Holtzman, so take a shot. And this is where the film becomes better for the ladies. How in the name of God can they cast Chris Hemsworth in this film? I mean, Chris has always been a beefcake on his films, but this one in particular, he is pretty freaking adorable. He's so adorable that it exposes Erin's Venkman side.
Kevin. Oh, that's a manly name. My name's Erin, with an E, for everything you want.
Do you see why I say that she has some traits of Venkman? And here's where we get to the interview scene, where the film exposes more of Erin's general debauchery.
You know, we should probably start with a very important question that, are you seeing anyone right now?
Oof, Erin, you gotta slow down there, lady. You better conserve that energy or you'll get outpaced by his fangirls.
Kevin dabbles in web design, and I asked him to throw together maybe a couple of logos for us. And now's your moment. Pull it out. Oh.
Abby, don't encourage her.
Here we go.
The guy uses a Sony laptop in 2016. Also, what's with that design?
Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger.
Okay, Kevin, do you see how I can abuse that scene into oblivion?
Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger. Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger.
Anyway, Patty comes into the team and asks the Ghostbusters team to take out the ghost. After one really dragging scene involving a graffiti artist that just so happened to make the Ghostbusters logo, the team goes into the station and are ready for action. Kind of.
You don't usually think about the amount of urine smell.
And I don't usually think that the PKE meter looks like a vagina. I mean, seriously, who the hell designed that?
Do you see that? The eyes.
Oh, cream and sugar.
Okay, film, are you just giving me away scenes to abuse?
Do you see that? The eyes.
Oh, cream and sugar.
I am never gonna get tired of that face, I swear to God. The group tries to capture the ghost, but they don't have a trap set up yet. At least they tested their proton gun.
Everyone thinks this video is fake. Look at these comments.
You're giving way too much powers for the meme makers, film.
Everyone thinks this video is fake. Look at these comments.
You shouldn't be reading this stuff. You're not supposed to listen to what crazy people write in the middle of the night online.
I know. Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Is your coffee, Abby?
Thank you. Did you get sugar in it this time?
I hate coffee. Yeah, the sugar's in it.
I'll take it. Waste.
Aaron, even Venkman wouldn't go that far. Turns out that Patty has been there for a while now and the group somehow didn't notice, and she offers to join the group because she knows New York and she has an uncle who has a car for them to go around.
Oh, yeah.
You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
This film was made in 2016, by the way. The team constructed the proton pack and the trap. Holtzman and Abby act like children, so take a shot on that scene. The weirdo villain goes into a rock concert to drop in his paranormal enhancing device. While that's going on, the group watches the TV on the Ghost Train coverage in a CRT TV. It's 2016, guys. They don't even sell these sorts of things anymore. And the TV shows Bill Murray as a famed debunker. The group finally gets into action and the Fall Out Boy Ghostbusters song plays in the background. It's terrible. I won't subject you into that. I'm sure these jokes are already torturous enough for some of you. The group arrives at the concert area to investigate the ghosts.
I thought it was gonna kill him. I shrieked when I saw it. I guess I scared it because I'm told that I have a very disturbing scream.
Remember that for later. Investigating the area, they mostly find nothing, but then Patty encounters... I don't know, there's something funny in the way those mannequins move.
Please do not answer.
The way those mannequins move is so unintentionally funny. Shooting the mannequin reveals a flying demon of some sort, and it appears on the rock concert with the audiences thinking that it was some CGI special effects or something. I can't blame them, we're living in the age where Miku exists.
This auditorium is Art Deco, you idiots!
I can only hope she knew about Jesus.
Abby jumps into the crowd and the crowd serves her right near the ghost. Patty does the same thing and she didn't get the same treatment. Ouch.
Okay, so I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell.
It's definitely the weight thing if you ask me. The team trapped the ghost and they have successfully saved the day. Yay for everyone, right?
Sharon, I think I'm having another flashback.
I know, just deal with it. The group celebrates by dancing around, which is not a drink, adults do this as well, but I do want to take notes on Aaron, who perfectly illustrates every girl's reaction towards Chris Hemsworth's presence. And this is where Bill Murray comes in to debunk the science of the ghosts. Bill tries to expose the group as fake, so he asks to open up the trapper that contains the ghost. The group did so, despite Abby convincing Aaron to not do that, and the ghost goes out and drops Bill Murray out of the window. Ouch.
Who threw him out the window?
A ghost threw him out the window.
Oh, you mean like Patrick Swayze? Like he's sitting behind you making
And the film drags this joke for way too long. I swear to God, if some of these jokes are cut, this film would be 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's barely reaching the 2-hour mark anyway. Take 2 shots. The group is then invited to the mayor's office and they're straight up being told to cease operation so that the public won't panic and because the Homeland Security is dealing with this sorts of stuff.
I feel like the cat is kind of out of the bag.
What they're saying is the cat is out of the bag. They want us to put the cat back inside the bag.
And they drag this joke into oblivion. Take 2 shots. The group is then introduced with new ghost-busting gadgets and oh my god, who the hell watches on a CRT TV in 2016? The group figures out that the ghost sightings are all somehow connected. They go into the center point, which is the Mercado Hotel, and...
Well, I'm terribly sorry that you have a draft in your room. Why don't you hold while I connect you to someone who might care?
One undignified cameo later, the group finally meets up with the weirdo. The weirdo electrocutes himself because the group threatens that the police would come, and the police eventually comes. The Ghostbusters got arrested by the Homeland Security, and somehow everyone goes back to their place except Aaron. Abby gets into a toilet and notices the weirdo coming back as a ghost to possess her. As Holtzman and Patty go back into the base, Abby straight up tries to murder both of them. The group struggles on fighting the ghost, and it's thanks to Patty slapping the hell out of Abby that the ghost can come out. And that's where the ghost possesses Chris Hemsworth. To be fair, if I'm a ghost, I'd possess him too. Erin notices the strange markings on the book that she found on the weirdo's basement, signifying that him being electrocuted was part of the plan. She tries to warn the mayor, but she immediately gets escorted away. The weirdo as Kevin goes back into the basement and triggers the world-ending machine, causing a massive catastrophe towards all of New York. And somehow the city turns night all of a sudden.
Sir, those are actual ghosts. flying around.
And a class 5 floating vapors, nothing to worry about.
Okay, that was funny. And this is where the group notices the Slimer when it drives the car and, we'll get to the Slimer later. The group fights a bunch of monsters and they all got crushed by the Stay Puft monster. Oh, one more undignified cameo. The army and the Homeland Security guys confront Chris Hemsworth, but they are locked in a really strange dance gesture where they will dance off in the credit sequence. The group fights off a couple more ghosts and arrives into the group of army in static.
Like a soul who doesn't know Jesus floating without purpose.
The Ghostbusters confront Kevin, and somehow Kevin didn't just turn the group so that they stay still. And this is where the weirdo gets out of Kevin's body and turns into the Ghostbusters logo. No, really, he did. That's some really nice animation on the logo, but why is this film turning into Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And yes, the group has to fight off the freaking Ghostbusters logo. Perhaps the logo represents the legacy of the entire franchise. The group's plan to take down all the ghosts in the city is to bring the Ghostbusters car that Slimer and his mates drive around because the top of the car contains a nuclear reactor of some sort. The group directs the car into some sort of a portal and the nuclear reactor explodes inside, causing all the ghosts, including Slimer, to be sucked into it. And yes, that also includes the giant logo, but unfortunately it's way too strong for the portal to pull. So the group decides to find a way to loosen his grip. The logo gets sucked into the portal, but Abby is pulled down inside as well. Erin goes inside to save Abby. Abby gets saved, but the two comes out with their hairs turning gray. Ouch. The Ghostbusters save the day. They become heroes of the story, but the Major denies that there are any ghosts by, referencing Batman Begins.
What actually happened was that terrorists drugged all of the water with hallucinogens. Yes.
Wait, what?
The group receives funding from the government and finally they got the original location. And this is where it's revealed that Patty's uncle is one more undignified cameo. We also got Sigourney Weaver in there too. And the film has a freaking post-credit scene. Oh boy.
I heard something really weird. What's Zool?
So that was Ghostbusters 2016 and, well, I'm shocked. Not because this film is an utterly horrendous cringe fest, although it can be for some of you guys, but because it's a really boring slog. I'm shocked that this film isn't an utter cringe fest for me, which would at least give me some form of entertainment, but it isn't. The film is just boring. Some jokes land, to be fair, but a lot of them are unnecessarily dragged. This film should have been an hour and 30 minutes like the original, but the extended length of the film is devoted for scenes that I don't think are really that necessary. Ghostbusters 2016 serves as a prime example in how gender-swapping characters doesn't always make the film better. The characters in Ghostbusters 1984 are actually adults. They don't try to make you laugh, they're just there to hunt ghosts, which is why when the jokes happen, it doesn't always feel forced. In contrast, the 2016 characters, not just the main characters mind you, are caricatures and stereotypes that try to make you laugh instead of acting like actual adults, which makes the jokes forced, dragged, and the characters less relatable. But if I have to be honest with you guys, I can see some potential in the film. I don't dismiss the idea of an all-female Ghostbusters team entirely. It's perfectly fine, and we've had female Ghostbusters before, most notably in the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon. If only the film had a smaller budget so that they can make something in a smaller scale, but more focused and constrained, instead of spending it too much on CGI that doesn't even look that good. If only the filmmakers and the people involved in the film aren't acting as immature as the characters are. In result, we have a mediocre film that is boring, not really that funny, and can even be insulting to the original. It's not the worst film that I've ever seen, but let's put it this way. Would I recommend anyone to spend their precious 2 hours to see this film? Hell no. And that's why I'm giving Ghostbusters 2016 1 cap out of 5. This film isn't bad, it's just mediocre, but it's the boring type of mediocre, and I honestly cannot recommend this film to anyone really. It should have been an hour and 30 minutes, but Sony just can't help it. Whew, now that we got that film out of the way, we have one more film that people claim to be a feminist propaganda. That one is coming in 3 days, and I cannot wait to talk about that.